Welcome to my channel. Tonight I'm going to take you inside some of the most chilling school horror stories ever told. Turn off the lights, get comfortable, and prepare yourself, because this is where the horror begins. My high school had a demon side. When I was a freshman, I had a boyfriend. Let's call him Jay. So after a month or two of dating, he decided to reveal something to me. He said that he has had weird dreams and something would talk to him. It would tell him about things he did not tell anyone, things about me. It taught him how to astral project and lucid dream and other stuff, until one day he told me he had to go to the woods and do a ritual with something. I can't remember what. Jay said he had to do it or it will harm me, my family, and his family. That's when everything started to get creepy. He began to have another side to him. Jay called it Zero. He would act different and be mean and tell me I'm worthless and an idiot. But then he would snap back to the Jay I knew and be all loving again. You might be thinking maybe he has a multiple personality disorder, but I assure you it wasn't. We would sneak out at night and something would pull his leg. We were riding our bikes back home at 3 a.m. and all of a sudden his leg was in the air and he fell down. My bed used to shake, and one night I felt like I couldn't breathe, like I was being pinned down. I would have to sleep with the light on to feel safe. Another night I was texting him, not Jay but Zero. He said he would be outside my window. My window is on the second floor facing the woods. And to look outside, I felt so scared and had this horrible feeling, so I did not look. Then all of a sudden, a loud bang, like two hands hit my window and I jumped out of my bed. I was so confused. How can someone hit my window without a ladder? I ran to my father and he went outside with a wooden cutting board and his machete, it's for gardening, and started to look for something around, but nothing was there. No rocks, nothing. Eventually we broke up because I could not take it anymore. I wouldn't be able to sleep without having nightmares years after. Now I can sleep without having nightmares, but I still have to sleep with a light on to feel okay. My school was haunted. When I was younger, probably around 9 years old, I went to a small school in a tiny country town. This town has a history of death and sadness, as it was a major site for yellow fever deaths, as well as lynchings and KKK dealings. Needless to say, there were many stories passed around about how this building or that building was haunted. While I lived in this town, my family had a number of weird things happen to us almost everywhere we went. So essentially, this is a true story. As a small child, I truly believed in the existence of paranormal phenomenon, and my school seemed to be a perfect setting for numerous stories. One day in particular, while we were in PE and all of our classmates were playing kickball, a group of friends and I were sitting up in the bleachers, swapping theories about what could have happened in this particular gymnasium. Mind you, this gym was old. The lights were dim, and the windows were painted over as they were broken or stained, and the school didn't have money to replace them. The area where we were sitting was particularly dim and was perfect for our stories. While I took my turn, one of my friends noticed that one part of the bleachers was slightly different than the rest. These bleachers weren't the typical type you see in school. Rather than being made out of metal and plastic, these were made out of wood and looked solid. What my friend noticed was that this section of the bleachers was hinged and had been nailed shut. He called us over and we all inspected it. We quickly decided that we had to see what could be hidden in there. Fueled by our theories of murder and secrets, we started trying to pry open the wood, which proved to be easy since the nails and wood were old as dirt. Luckily for us, the gym was very loud, and the teacher was preoccupied with a student who had gotten hit in the head with the ball and was wailing about how much it hurt. We peered down into the darkness, which was about 10 feet down, and we were allowed only a small square of light let in by the dim bulbs of the gym ceiling. What we saw chilled us to the bone. It looked like a small body wrapped in tarps and covered in roof shingles. We immediately ran to the gym teacher to try and get his help, but he didn't believe us. He knew that we were always telling scary stories and were always scaring ourselves. He disregarded it as childhood imagination. He convinced us that we were just paranoid and that we should just forget about it. So we did. We were pretty naive kids, so we felt it wise to believe the adult. Towards the end of the same year, when we were taking our tax tests, my teacher told us that between each section, we could get up, stretch, take a walk around the building, get some water, and then come back to finish the test. To go around this building, we had to walk through the gym. Now, when I was younger, I was a major overachiever and finished the first section of the test before anyone else. I was excited to go for a walk because I hated tests and liked to go out and explore my school. As I walked into the gym toward the water fountain, I heard someone whisper really close to my ear, "Over here!" I was startled and looked everywhere, but I didn't see anyone around who could have said anything. I turned to continue my walk, but saw something out of the corner of my eye. It looked like a small girl with long blonde hair. Up in the bleachers, I quickly turned to look at that spot, but nothing was there. I started feeling myself hyperventilating, but having been an avid watcher of scary films, even that young, I knew I shouldn't stay there. Luckily, at that moment, one of my classmates walked into the gym, also on his walk. I decided that maybe it was him whispering, trying to scare me, as it was easier to believe than allowing myself to be scared. I haven't been back to that school in over 15 years, so I still don't know if that thing is still at the bottom of the bleachers. My school haunted bathroom. So I was in 4th grade when this happened, so this was a while back. My old elementary school used to be a military training camp about a century ago, and it was always thought that the school was haunted, but I never bought it. Well, we were taking a test and needed to go to the bathroom. So when we do state tests like this, there is only one person allowed in the bathroom at a time, while the teachers waits outside. So I went to the bathroom, and the bathroom has like 5 stalls. So I go in the second one and I do my business. As I'm finishing up, I hear the door open and heels clicking against the tile floor. And I look under the stalls and there is no one there. And I just write it off as someone walking in the hallway and that I'm going mental. But I hear a stall door being open about 2 stalls down, and I look down again and there's no one. So I just nope the fuck out the bathroom. I asked the lady who took me to the bathroom if she saw anyone go in, since she was right next to the only door to enter the bathroom. She said no. My brother had the same experience when he was in 2nd grade.